Good morning, champions. Coach Tina here. And yes, if you're wondering about my voice, I managed to get sick over the holiday, and I'm going to do my best to get through all of the material today. We had a lovely Thanksgiving. I hope all of you did. And let me get us put on the Facebook so that everybody has a chance and to see us this morning. Don't forget, if you are watching, to put in live or replay. And let me get us going on Facebook. We got this, we got this, we got this. Okay, there I am, and I am not in the right spot, so let me go there. And then I can pin it. All right, sorry about that. Good morning. So happy to have you guys here. Let's see who's on. Margaret, good morning. I'm so happy you're watching live. I've been following your posts this weekend. Totally excited for you. What a boon. After this, we're going to be doing the new member connect. And so plan to hop on that with me. I'll send you the Zoom link and you can tell me all about it because I'm super excited to hear. For those of you that don't know, Margaret has been working on the goal of selling her jewelry, and she did a Black Friday offer on her Etsy shop. And as a result, I saw the post where she sold her first item on Etsy and she celebrated. Celebrate all wins is a concept we use. About 3 hours later, she posted, I've sold 3 things, and she was super excited, as she should be. And then I saw the post just before I went to bed that she actually had sold 9 items, and it might even be more by now. What an exciting time period for you, Margaret. I'm super excited for you. So today we are talking about something interesting, and it's, I put it down as a ticker. Let's take the ticker off and let's just show it. Okay, hold on. We're going to edit it, and we're going to take the ticker off, and then we're going to save. Then we're going to show. Yay! Today we're talking about when things get wild in your life, are you able to tame the lion? Of course, that being a metaphor. I was starting to tell you when we started that we had a wonderful time in Houston with several of our kids, and one of our boys that we took with us wasn't feeling well on the way down, and he didn't really get better on the trip. And, we were compassionate, as you tend to be with your sick children, but he stayed in the hotel a lot and slept. Well, on our way home, it was a mess coming back from Houston. Our temperature dropped. It was raining. We got home at 36 degrees or 34 degrees. So we were right on the cusp of the roads icing up, and it was a mess. But it was 8 at night, and I felt so bad that I just got in bed and I slept. And I am not an 8 at night person, but I went to sleep and slept most of yesterday. So I'm feeling better, but I'm still just kind of that drug out, when your body has gone through something. And the funny thing is as I was going in and out of sleep, this concept came up to me. So in my delirium, I'm going to call it, I started thinking about these wild things. And wild, if we were to define it, which we're going to do in a little bit, can mean different things to different people. So what I wanted to know is, what is wild in your life right now? And it doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? It could be wild that you're on some journey that you never anticipated, and suddenly it's working for you and you're thrilled. And I love it. We'll put that up there. Margaret said, "Rawr." I love it. That's how my voice feels today. So, hey, we're in the theme. So for me, the wildness is showing up on, I knew I had a lot going on. So some of you have heard that I'm part-time with Date with Destiny. So Date with Destiny is Tony's signature program, and it is 6 days long, but it's also leadership. So it adds 2 days to that. And I have a conference going on in Nashville for ULA. So when I first heard about it, I was like, I'm not going to sign up for Date with Destiny this year because I'm already going to ULAPalooza. Excuse me. And then having been made a senior leader in June, they were like, we really need people. You've got to relieve, the people that are working there all those 8 days. They're going to need some support. So I signed up for every time that I'm not working or at the conference or doing our end of the year event. So you see where I started to stack. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I will just organize my time really well. Of course, what that means is I didn't anticipate getting sick. And now that I'm not feeling that good, like I had a bunch of stuff planned yesterday that I was going to, get things unpacked. We still haven't completely unpacked. Like I'm living out of boxes. And so I was like, so that's what's wild for me right now. Like I thought I had things under control and suddenly I don't. Okay. And so that's where I wanted to go is talk about wild, right? What does it even mean? So I looked at the definition. Right. And so Margaret's saying it's wild that all of a sudden 7 pieces of her jewelry sold in a matter of hours after she was starting to get discouraged. It's always that last thing. If you don't give up, right? I know that in the mastermind world, they show that picture of the gold miner digging into the wall. And there's just like a really thin layer of where the gold is. And but he has to keep doing it until he hits that rain, right? And you don't know when you're going to hit it. And so that's what life is about. Just always believing that that gold is right there under the surface. So the definition for wild is out of control. It could also mean dangerous, like a wild animal, right? Hence the thought about the lions. But it can be something that is so exciting that it's actually out of your comfort zone. Like that is so wild that this is happening. And I say that because we all have that thermometer that this is our life and this is how it's supposed to be. And when something really, really good happens or when something really, really bad happens, we have to snap back up to the norm because that's our identity. That's what we've lived with all our life. So when things are going really, really, really well, we start to shrink because we're like, this doesn't feel right. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like it's out of my norm. And so what we want to do is embrace the wild. We want to recognize it. We want to have an appreciation for it, right? Think of going on a safari. You're like looking for the wild animals. You're searching. And when you see them, you're like, oh, this is awesome. Until they like come and try to get in your caravan or whatever, right? So recognize your wild and work through that. And the next thing is my tagline was, when things get wild in your life, are you able to tame the lions? So able is a particular word choice that I used because sometimes it's that we're not willing, right? But you'll hear a lot, people will say willing and able. And so able is having the power, the skill, the means, or the opportunity to do something. And so the interesting thing about able that I wanted to tell you guys, and again, I was in a delirium when I was doing my thing this weekend, and that I had a school. So several years ago, me and 4 coworkers decided to start an online charter school way before COVID was a thing and online education was not the norm. And we believed that it was the future of education. And we were the underdogs. We were a nonprofit. We didn't want to make money at it. We just wanted to teach those kids that weren't being taught in traditional schools the way that they needed to be taught. And so we called it ABLE. And I probably should have named it ABEL because it was a struggling endeavor. And I say that because being the underdogs, the big players in the political realm didn't like that we were taking some of their profit. And they reacted poorly to us. Now, part of the reason they reacted poorly is we had all worked for them before, and we had saw that it wasn't a good model that they were putting forward, and we wanted to do something better. Now, in a normal world, that's what you do, and you take that as a compliment and you let things go. But they had the means to knock us down. And within 9 months of starting our school, we were asked to close it. And we had it was such a dream of ours. We were trying so hard. A lot of really good things came from the school setup that we had done. But like, for instance, meeting my husband, but we weren't able to fight the legal system. And so we appealed, paid the lawyers, but we didn't have enough money to market the school and pay the lawyers. And at a certain point, the legal system let us down, and we did not win our first appeal. And we had to make a choice to close down or fight it again. And we just didn't have the wherewithal. We had suffered because of not enough kids and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, when I was in bed thinking about this topic, I was thinking about Abel. And something that you guys may or may not have noticed is, as we've done our champions group, Dean always says, look for your dot. What is the commonalities? What are the things? What do your people need? And I noticed very quickly that we have several people that are on disability. So disabled, like I feel like I got disabled with my school. And so that was the thought that was coming through. I actually, in my delirium, was having these really great thoughts about a grant program. We have a friend that's a grant writer looking for people to write grants. And I was thinking about this really cool concept of working with people that have this limiting factor in their life, whether it's health, whether it's a physical disability, whatever limit is being placed on them. Because we have a son that's a disabled veteran, right? Two of them now have disability ratings, and Chris has a disability rating because it's pretty common in the military for you to have that rating after you get out. So there is this overall concept of, what could I do to help that particular group? Because I know the concerns that have been raised. If I make too much, then I won't be able to continue to get my benefits. And if I do, then and something happens to me, I get sick again, or I have a downturn and I can't run my business, I can't make that money, and I've lost my benefits. And that's a cycle. That's a situation that we need to address. So I'm pretty excited about this. So I was looking at the able and that in that context. But then I was looking at the taming of lions. And obviously it's a metaphor, but it made me think of the circus, right? And they have the lion tamer, and he usually has a whip and a chair or a stool, right? And so as I was writing this up, and when I got up finally yesterday, I said, they do that. Like, what is the actual reason why the lion tamer has those two things? So hold on just a minute. So in the context of wild, they use the whip to show a little bit of dominance over the animal, but it's really about boundaries. Like, this is my space, that's your space. And so they do that to get the animal's attention. It's actually not scary to the animal. It's just a notice about boundaries. So it made me think about us with the wild stuff going on, right? Are we able to keep our boundaries strong? What is it we want? What is it we need? How are we going to get that? How can we create a system that works for us? And so that was one of them. But the tool that actually is the most beneficial in the taming of lions is the stool. And so, of course, I had to read on, because I was like, what in the world? What does the stool do? Why would a lion be afraid of a stool? Well, they use a four-legged stool and they hold it up. If you think of the circus, those four legs confuse the lion. When he's looking at those four legs, he doesn't know which one to go after. He doesn't know what to swipe at. He doesn't know how to proceed. And he actually gets confused and doesn't do anything. Interesting, right? So are we able to tame that lion by being focused, by remembering what's important, by remembering what our priorities are, by keeping true to that authentic plan that we have for our life? So, my friends, that is the thing that I wanted to share. You can tell we're a little bit early today, but I'm going to go and rest my voice, if nothing else. Any insights that you got from today, please put them in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. And while this is the first week of December, not the first full week, because we're going to have this at the end of the week, but next week, we will be doing our end of the year event. It is going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings, the 5th, 6th, and 7th. I already told you Date with Destiny will be going on. I may have to do recordings. I had hoped to do them yesterday. So we are going to just play it the way that it needs to be played. And it is going to be outrageously good because not only will I be bathed in Date with Destiny concepts and principles and ideas, but I will have just completed my Ulapalooza, which is an experience where you set yourself up for the next year. We commit to our goals. We put them on stickers, put them on the bus. All kinds of really good things will be happening at our 5th, 6th, and 7th event. So I hope you're going to be there. Don't forget that this is also the end of the year drawing will be held. So I didn't get the post up over the weekend, so my apologies, but I'll get it up right after this. And what I want you to do is say how your November goals went. And remember, it's completed or the lesson you learned from it. So don't feel bad if you didn't achieve the thing that you set out to do. What did you learn from it? How are you going to adapt? What's going to change for you so that that goal can become a priority? So everybody that comments, their name will go, I don't have my little, somewhere I have my little names. I did it last week, so I know it's out here. But we'll be digging in there, and anybody that wins will be given the opportunity to have a one-on-one with me. So I'm so excited, you guys. It's Monday, and I'm feeling better, even as just doing this has made me light up and be excited. So Margaret, I love it. She says, we all have something under our belt that can help us to tame the lion. So true. So true. All right. Hope you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. And anybody that wants to do the connection event. I talked about Arnold. Arnold has had his baby over the weekend. So little boy, cute little baby boy. And hi, Sarah. So happy to have you. So he did not get the invites out to everybody. He's been a little bit overwhelmed with his second child and taking care of his wife and the baby and his daughter. So funny to hear, right? But he's doing the best that he can. And so we may not have a lot of people in the connection event, but if you want to come, either put me in the comments or message me privately and I will send you the link. Okay. See you soon. It starts at 7:30 my time, which is Central. Take care. So it's 12 minutes from now.